Welcome to this Java project video tutorial. In this video, we are going to see a complete example of Java project, which is a employee management system. And this is the class diagram that we make use of in this project. We have an employee class, which has the details such as employee ID, employee name, designation, etc. And we have an interface called iEmployeeDAO. This interface declares all the methods related to adding a record to the database, finding record from the database, deleting record from the database, etc. And this interface is implemented by a class called as EmployeeDAO MySQL IMPL. Okay. And after that, we have the service layer for which we have an interface called as iEmployeeService. And this service interface has exactly the same methods which are declared inside the iEmployeeDAO interface. This service interface is implemented by a class EmployeeService IMPL. This one we use it to achieve abstraction. And apart from these two things, we have a class hierarchy called as salary calculator. In general, in employee, we have two types of employees, that is the permanent employee and contract employee. So these two classes are used to calculate the net salary. For example, the formula to calculate the net salary of permanent employee is different from the formula used to calculate the net salary of the contract employee. So in this situation, it is the best example to demonstrate the use of abstract class. Okay, the salary calculator is an abstract class which contains some common functionality that has to be shared across the child classes. Okay. For example, this class contains a method called as get gross salary method, which is common to both the child classes, permanent employee salary calculator and contract employee salary calculator. So, and this is the main class where we used to add, find, delete records, etc. And in addition to that, we have another class called employee not found exception. We throw an exception if the employee that is searched for is not available. So let's get started with the code structure. So we have this list of classes and interfaces. First of all, we have to create the database table in MySQL. In this tutorial, I'm making use of the MySQL database. So first of all, I'm creating the MySQL table there. Okay, I'm opening the MySQL command line. So I have launched this MySQL. Let's say the font size, I want to set it to some 28, and then colors. So bold font. Let me change the colors. Screen background. Let me say it's screen text. Let me give it as white. Right. Okay. Now this is the case. Now, first of all, let me open the database. Use MySQL. This is a MySQL database I'm opening. Now I want to create the table. Okay, create table employee, and inside this table I'm creating a employee ID, which is integer. Let's say this is primary key, and then we need emp name. Emp name, it is varchar, and let's say this is some 20. Then we need designation, and this is varchar. Let's say this is also 20. And then we have days attended, the number of days the employee has attended the office work. And let's say this is integer. And then this is done, the table is created. Now, once the table is created, let's start with the Java side program. So I'm going ahead and creating a new Java project, new Java project. And the project name I'm saying is EMS, Employee Management System. Okay, so I click the finish button. Now you see the project is created. In order to work with JDBC or database connectivity, we need the driver jar file. In our case, since we are making use of the MySQL database, let's add the MySQL connector jar. So I'm right clicking here, then go to build path, add external archives. And on the desktop, we have the jar file. Okay, so the jar file is now added. Now that is done, now let's go ahead and start creating the class structure. So let's do this, create this class. Okay, so I'll create the employee class. So before that, I create a new package. New package. So com.learnclearly.ems.dto, data transfer object. com.learnclearly.ems.dto. Now here I'm creating the employee class, new class. The class name is employee. Okay, so in this class, let me define the attributes that we discussed. Employee ID, name, designation, and days attended. Okay, so I want to declare these 4 items. So what I do is private int employee ID, and then private string employee name, and again private string designation, private int days attended. To this class, I'm going to generate the constructors, getters, and other stuff. So let me generate the constructors from superclass. And then I'll generate the constructors using fields. And then after that, generating the getters and setters. Usually for every class like employee or any other DTO class, we have to generate the equals and HashCode method, because if we don't generate equals and HashCode method, we cannot use them properly in the collections such as hash set, otherwise HashMap or tree set, etc. Okay, however, I'm not making use of collections in this project. If you want to learn any collection specific example, you can watch my video, collection CRUD example. Okay, now that said, we are done with the employee class. Now let me create a new exception class. So first of all, I'll create an exception class. So before that, I create a package, new package. The package name com.learnclearly.ems.exceptions. So this is the exceptions related package, employee management system exceptions. Okay, so in this one, I want to create a new class. Okay, so this class is a user defined exception, that is the employee not found exception. Okay, so this class will extend it from the exception class, extends exception. Okay, for now, let this class be like this. Let's not go ahead and do the coding in that. So now if you look at the class diagram, we are done with the employee class and employee not found exception class. Now let's go ahead and work with this iEmployee.dao interface and its implementation. So first of all, I want to create a new package. Okay. So I'm creating a new package. The package name, once again, as per the best practices, we have to name it as DAO. I'm creating a new package. So this package name com.learnclearly.ems employee management system.dao. Now inside this DAO package, first of all, I want to create this iEmployee.dao interface. As you know, we have to use the suffix as a best practice to the interface name. However, it is not compulsory. So I'm creating an interface. So the interface name is iEmployee.dao. So in this employee DAO, I want to, declare all the methods like adding an employee, deleting an employee, and so on. So I copy these methods and declare them. Okay, all these methods are public methods. So first of all, public abstract void add employee, and then public abstract void delete employee, public abstract void update employee, and then this one, public abstract, it returns an employee by finding its okay, if it doesn't find, it throws an exception. Okay, and then public, this one returns a list of all employees. So I'll store it in a list, maybe a list of employees. So this is the structure of the iEmployee DAO interface. So first of all, we need to import the employee class. Okay, so employee, okay, some error, employee E, and here as well. Okay, now let me import this employee class. Okay, this is imported, and after that we need to include the list interface from java.util. Okay, to quickly understand what these methods are used for, these methods are used to perform the respective database operation on the table of the employee table. So this one is used to add an employee into the database table, delete an employee from the database table, update an employee from the database table, find an employee from the database table. Okay, and this one show all methods, show all employees. This one is to retrieve all employees from the database table. Okay, so this find employee method, we throw an exception if it is not found. So for that reason, we go and declare throws employee not found exception, which I have already created. Okay, so that's the case. This is the structure of our iEmployee DAO interface. In addition to these methods, okay, we have to, we have to declare all the MySQL database properties such as driver class name, username, URL, password, etc. So let me go ahead and declare it here. So public static, okay, and then final string URL. This is a database URL. Okay, the default URL for MySQL is jdbc colon jdbc colon MySQL colon / and then here it is local host, and the default port number for MySQL is 3306. Okay, and then that's it. Okay, so and the database name is MySQL. The default database name is MySQL. And next thing we need to provide is username and password. Public static final string, it is username is equal to the default username when we install MySQL, it is root. And similarly, I want to declare a password field there. So this is password. Okay, and password in my case, I have declared it as MySQL at 123. And there is a small adjustment. It has to be capital letter as per the best practices. So now we have declared username, URL, and password. Okay, and then we have to declare the driver class. But I don't want to do that. I'll tell you the reason. Public static final string driver class name is equal to the default driver class name is com.mysql.jdbc.driver. So we actually make use of this driver class name. Driver class name, once again correction, driver underscore class name. Okay, so this one is used to load the driver class, okay, by making use of class.forName method. However, since Java version 1.6 onwards, the code that loads the driver class is default. This one, whatever we do this one in the respective code, this is automatically executed right from version 1.6 of Java. Okay, for that reason, I don't want to make use of this constant from this one. Now, I hope this is clear until now. Okay, if you have any comments, any suggestions, any questions, you can please leave in the comments section. Now, this is the structure of the iEmployee DAO interface. For this interface, let's go ahead and create the employee DAO MySQL IMPL class. So I'm going to create the class within the same package. So here I create a new package, new class, and the class name is employee DAO MySQL IMPL. So we should follow the best standards and naming conventions. If you look at this class name, we have some standard naming convention. First of all, this is the interface name, and then this is the database that we are using, and that's the reason we have MySQL. Just in case we make use of Oracle, we use the Oracle here. That makes more readable. And this class implements the interface, that is implements iEmployee DAO. Now, since this class is implementing this interface, we have to override all the methods. So I'm overriding here, add unimplemented methods. Now we get the default code here. Okay, so what we do now here is we write the code in the constructor, not necessarily in the constructor. Okay, first of all, let me declare the database variables such as private connection, okay, connection CN equal to null. So let me import it from java.sql, and then private statement st equal to null. In place of statement, we can also use the prepared statement, which we actually need to do that. Okay, maybe I rather take that one. Okay, prepared statement, and then we need to import that prepared statement. So I have imported that, and after that, let me declare the result set. Result set rs is equal to null, something like this. I once again need to import that one. So this is the Jdbc related interfaces that we are going to use in order to connect and retrieve the data from the database and send the data to the database. Now that we have declared all this stuff, first of all, when this class is loaded, we do one thing. We go to this add employee method, and in here we declare the methods, constants. Public static string, public static final string. Okay, insert command equals to insert into employee, and then values, and the values we have altogether of 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4. So we give 4 question mark symbols. That is the 4 placeholders. The question mark symbols, we call them as placeholders in technical words. So this is the insert command, and similarly, let's declare the other commands. We can also declare these commands in the interface. It's up to the best practices and one's own choice. So I'm declaring this one as update command. This update command, I have to provide the update command here. So how do we do that? So let me give it as update employee set, and we need the column names. Employee name, I think it is employee name, correct? Yeah, it is EMP name. The column name is correct. EMP name equal to question mark. Okay, and the second one, this is designation equals to question mark symbol, and again days attended equals to question mark. where emp id equals to question mark. So this is the update command which we use to update the employee record. And then we want to go for delete command, public static final string delete command. And this delete command is pretty simple. Delete from employee where employee ID equals to question mark. Because we are using a prepaid statement interface, we are using question mark symbols, that is the placeholders. And we have a few more things. Public static final string. This is find command. We want to find an employee based on employee ID. So the command is select star from employee where emp id equals to question mark. And then we want to declare one more command, that is for selecting all records. Public static final string select all, or otherwise fetch all, whatever you want. And here no terms, no where condition, directly we give select star from employee. Now that we have given declared all the commands for performing the database operations, what we need to do is start establishing the connection from the database. Okay, so here what we do is in the constructor, let's try to get a connection. So what I do is public employee IMPL. So in this one, I'm going to get the connection. The moment this one is loaded, this object is loaded, I'm getting a connection. So what we do here is connection cn equal to driver manager dot get connection. And to the get connection, we have to provide the details such as username, URL. This is URL. This is not this URL. Where is our URL declared? If you remember, it is from iEmployee DAO dot URL. If you remember, we have declared it here. We have declared it here, if you remember, URL. Similarly, we will make use of the username and password fields in this method. So here, this is, what is that? iEmployee DAO dot, that is username. And again, the next one is password. The next one password. iEmployee DAO dot password. Now we are done with the connection retrieve process. And since this one throws an SQL exception, let me surround it with try and catch blocks. Okay, just in case the connection is not successful, let me print a command there and unable to establish the connection with database. Okay, in if you go in depth, we will usually make use of these statements, store them inside the log files. Okay, however, to reduce the length of this video duration, I'm not going to make use of the logging concept here. Okay, that's done. Now this one is done. When the constructor is executed, we get a connection into this one. Now let's go ahead and come back to this one. Now, so what we do here, first of all, in order to add the record to the database, we have to make use of the prepared statement. So let me change it to PST, prepared statement. Now I'm going to create this prepared statement for the insert command for this one. So what I'm doing in this case, you watch here. So let's say PST equal to connection dot prepare statement. To this prepare statement, I'm going to supply this insert command that we have declared in the same program. If you look at here, the prepared statement insert command, this is this one, insert into employee values, and we have 4 question mark symbols. We call them as placeholders. Okay, and since we are making use of the prepared statement, we have to fill the data of these question marks inside that. So once the prepared statement is created, we have to fill the data. PST dot set int of the first index is this one, and to this first index we want to supply the employee ID. And where do we get the employee ID from? We have an object employee here. So here I'm making use of e dot get employee ID. This way we do it for all other attributes. And please note there are compilation failures. We will together apply the try catch blocks to all statements. Okay, that causes the SQL exception. Now let's say we want to add the details for other attributes. Set string of, in the set string of the second index, this is for employee name, e dot get employee name. And the third one, pst dot set string of, and the third index is for designation, e dot get designation. Once again, pst dot set int, this is for the attendance. Let's say p dot, let's say fourth one, e dot get days attended. And now, first of all, we have created the statement, that is the prepared statement. After the prepared statement is created using the insert command, we have to fill all the details that we did here. Then we need to execute it. Okay, so I'll declare one variable here, integer I equals to 0. Now here I say I equals to pst dot execute update. Now in this case, all these statements, all these methods cause the SQL exception. So for that reason, I'm going and surrounding with try catch block together. Okay, so here I will print something, unable to let's say adding record failed, unable to execute insert command. Okay, that's okay for now. Now this is how we add the record into the database table. Okay, and if the record is successfully added, if you want, we can use it here. If I greater than 1, let's say, you can print it, record added, that's okay. So we probably put it outside the catch block, I mean try block, I put it here, Control S. So that is the code for the add employee method. And then we have to do the similar code for update, delete, and others. So let's go with the update command. In this update command, it's again the same thing. So let's go to the update command. So first of all, let's create the PST equals to connection dot. I think one step we forgot. I need to close the PST here. So what I do is, once this one is completed, PST dot close. Usually we close it in the finally block. So let me go here and then I add the finally block. Inside the finally block, what I'm doing is PST dot close. And then this one causes the exception. So therefore try catch block. So this completed. And similarly, what we have to do is repeat this code this kind of code to other methods, update, delete, find, etc. So first of all, let's go ahead. We are here. So let's go for the delete command. So first what I do is PST equals to, let's say, connection dot prepared statement, and we make use of the delete command. And for the delete command, we need to set only one attribute, that is the employee ID. So PST dot set int, and to this one the index is 1, and the parameter here, to this parameter we provide the employee ID that comes from the main program. So here what I do is I give this employee ID, and then we need to execute it. Okay, so let me say once again a local variable I, int I equals to 0, something like this one. Now here we need to execute that. I equals to PST dot execute update. Okay, and after this one is completed, we need to surround with try and catch blocks. So let me do that. So go to surround with try and catch block, and in the finally block, what I do is close the PST dot close, and once again I need to surround it with catch block. Okay, surround with try catch block. So here in the catch block for the delete statement, let me print some reasonable command output. So let's say unable to delete record. Maybe I say a different sentence. Delete operation failed, unable to execute delete command. Unable to execute delete command. Now this is done with the delete operation. It is pretty straightforward. I'm so sorry, I'm not teaching any concepts here. This is totally a hands-on example. If anyone is new to Java or Jdbc, you may please watch my core Java complete in-depth tutorial. I have 20-hour playlist for the link for which I will mention in the comments. So this is done, and let me go to the update employee command. Once again, the same process. What is the first step? Integer I equals to 0, and then PST equals to connection dot prepare statement. And in this time, we want to go for the update command. And the update command, what we have to do is we have to update the employee based for this employee. So what we do is we set the data once again. It is once again similar to the first one, but we need to change the indices. So I'll go and grab these 4 data. Okay, so copy this one, even this one as well. Copy, undo. So here update command is mostly same as the add command. So this is the thing. But here we need to understand this one is 4. This one is 4. Employee name is 1. This is 2. And this is 3. Okay, so please watch the update command, all of you. Scroll up, and if you look here, we have update command, update employee. Okay, the first question mark is for employee name, and the second question mark, the index is for employee designation, and the third one is for days attended, and the fourth one is employee ID. So that is the reason I have changed the sequence from these things. But similarly, since I've changed it, I have to make sure the data types are also correct. So let me do that correction. Okay, so this is for employee ID, okay, and this is string, okay, and this is string, okay, and this is int, okay. Now I need to once again surround it using the try catch blocks. Okay, so then surround with. Okay, so I go with and then try catch block, and in here I print the message unable to update the record, something like that. So what is that? Update failed, update operation failed, unable to execute update command. Okay, so that is done. Now once again, let me do the finally block here. Let me add the finally block. In the finally block, pst dot close. In the pst block dot close, once again we have to add the try catch blocks. Okay, try catch blocks. So this one is done. And here we probably display deleted, employee deleted message here. For example, if I greater than 0, then let's say we want to display the message record deleted successfully. And similarly, we do this similar code for update employee record after the finally block. So this is the try and catch, and this one is the finally block. So record updated successfully, record updated successfully. Okay, due to some people's requests, I'm explaining little fast. So those people who feed it fast, you can obviously adjust the speed. Okay, so that's done. We are done with the insert, update, and delete commands. Now the next function we do is find command. So let's go ahead and do that. So first of all, let me go to the find method. We have this find method here. So similarly, as usual, we have to create the PST here. PST equals to connection dot prepared statement of, and then here I provide the find command. And if you look at the find command, we have one single question mark that is at the end. So that is the index is only 1 here. Index is only 1 here. So we need to set that find command. So that index, let me do that. So where is that? So we have, let's say, I have to set that pst dot set int of let's say index number 1, and here we have to provide the employee ID. So let's say e dot get employee ID. And if you look here, we have the object e from this method parameter that we will get from the main program. And after that, we have to, let's say, once we execute that, we need to execute that. So first of all, we have said that, and then we say result set is equal to connection dot execute, pst dot execute query. Okay, so once the query is executed, we need to get all the details and then fill all those details into a temporary employee object. So for that reason, I'm taking one temporary employee object, employee find temp equal to initially I say employee find temp is equal to new, let's say null, So here after this query is executed successfully, what we need to do is we need to check if rs is not null. If rs dot next, that means if the next record exists. If the next record exists, what I need to do is find employee. So what I do is find temp equal to new employee. Find temp equal to new employee. So we are creating a new employee class object, and into this object, what we do is we fill the data that is coming from this rs result set. So what I do is find temp dot set employee name is equal to rs dot get string of, let's say, employee name, rs dot get string of employee name. And similarly, we do this one for designation and days attended. So find temp dot set designation of, I rather type it, undo. So here I have something like this one, find temp dot set designation of rs dot get string of, designation. I'm once again repeating here. I'm not explaining any concepts. It is totally hands-on example. Okay, those people who are not comfortable with core Java or JDBC, you can please watch my core Java complete playlist. Now find temp dot set days attended rs dot get int of this one. What I'm doing here is days attended, something like this. Now once we have set, we need not set the employee ID, it's already we have to set. However, employee temp dot set employee ID of this one, e dot get employee ID, both are one and same. Now we have found the record from the database. We first of all we have created the prepared statement for finding the employee, that is the command select star from employee, where employee ID equals to question mark, and that question mark we are filling, question mark index number is 1, and we are filling with this e dot get employee ID, that is here, and then we are executing that. If this statement is successfully executed, then what happens is it contains one record, which means this rs contains one record, rs dot next results to true. Just in case this rs dot next does not return true, then what we have to do is, okay, else let's say I want to throw an exception. What I do is I will go with if not rs dot next, then I want to throw an exception. I'll cut it here. Throw new employee not found exception. Throw new employee not found exception. That means, why did I use not here? If there are no matching records, it contains rs.next returns as false. That means if this one returns false, there are no records. If there are no records, matching records, then we want to throw an exception, right? Else, or otherwise, let's say directly I can use it. Okay, else part, I'm creating this one. Okay, find employee and all that. So, and finally, what I want to do is I want to return this find temp. So this is how the find method is used. We are finding one single record from the employee table. So now that we are done with this entire stuff of finding record process, now let's go ahead and enclose this entire code in the try catch block. Okay, so surround with try catch block. Now I have surrounded it with try catch block. That is done. Now after that, the next one what we need to do is execute the select all records command. So what we do that, say PST equals to, let's say, connection dot create statement. Sorry, I forgot one close statement here. So what is that? Inside the finally block, I want to close the PST dot close, and we need to surround it once again, surround with try catch. That is done. Now let's come back to the show employees method. So show all employees method. So what I do here is first of all create this statement PST equals to connection dot prepared statement of select all command is here. And if you notice, there are no question marks for the select all command. It is straightforward command. Let me scroll up. If you see here, select star from employee, there are no question marks. So nothing to set here. So directly we can execute it. So I do have to close the RS in the previous case. Let me do that. Where is that RS find employee command? Here I want to close RS as well. Result set dot close. Okay. Now come back to the find all method. So select all method. So here I just want to do RS equal to new, sorry, not new, sorry, PST dot execute query. Now in this case, from this execute query, we get all the employee records, right? So we have to capture all those records into a list. So what I'm doing, first of all, I'm declaring one variable, employee, okay, select all temp equal to select all temp is equal to null, first of all. And after that, I want to declare a linked list of employee, okay, employee list equal to new linked list or array list. In this particular simple case, it doesn't matter which one you select. Okay, now I need to import that. This one is imported. This one is also imported. Now, if you notice, this elist is an object of the linked list class. What we do is we get all the records from this RS result set. Okay, we loop these records one by one, and then while looping, we extract each column, and using each column, we create one object. We fill this object and then put that object into this elist. Let's see how does it work. While rs dot next method, and here what we have to do is select all temp. This is an object is equal to new employee. First of all, we are creating a brand new employee object. For the first record, we are creating an employee object first time. And then after that, we get the data from the result set and then fill it. Select all employee temporary object dot set. First of all, we need to set the employee ID, and the employee ID is rs dot get int of employee ID. This way, and this way we do it for remaining all items. Select all temp dot set employee name rs dot get string of, and here emp name. And after that, we do something called select all temp dot set designation, and here rs dot get string of designation. Okay, and then select all temp dot set days attended rs dot get int of days attended. And this way we are filling the employee object, this employee object, with all the data from the result set. we are getting the columns data and then copying it into the temporary object. And once the temporary object is filled with the data that comes from the result set, we have to put this one into the list. So how do we do that? E-list is the linked list, right? E-list dot add this select all temp. So this way, what happens is, for every record that is available in this RS, we get all the columns and copy it into this record, and that record we are adding it to the final list. So this one contains all the records from the database, right? So here we need to return E-list. We need to return E-list. And finally, we have to use the try catch block for this code structure. So surround with then try catch block. So that's it. We are done with the DAO IMPL part. I hope this is clear. However, this is a little lengthy project. Okay. Now this is done. Now let's do the next item. So until now, what we have done is this one. We have created the employee, and then we have created employee DAO interface, employee DAO MySQL IMPL, and then we have created this one also. Now let's go ahead and do some modification to this employee not found exception. So what is that exception? We go there to employee DAO IMPL, and in here what we do is we were throwing one exception, if you remember, in the find method. If we are not able to find the employee, we are throwing an exception. And while throwing an exception, we want to tell the user that the employee that is not found is of XYZ employee number. So I'm here, what I'm doing here is e dot employee get employee ID, get employee ID. So this one we are going to pass to the constructor of this one. So let's go ahead and create a constructor with a parameter here. Okay, so let's go ahead and here you see here, create a constructor in the employee not found. We are here. Now here what I'm doing is I'm declaring one employee ID, integer, let's say private, integer employee ID, and this one we give this ID. So what is that? So let me, this dot employee ID equal to employee ID, and then we want to override the toString method, public string toString, and this method return employee not found, employee not found exception. And this one we are going to attach this dot emp ID, and that's all. This is employee not found exception. Now so far we have completed this part, employee DAO interface, DAO IMPL class, and then this part. Now let's go ahead and see these two parts, which are pretty simple for now. Okay, I'm going to create the service package inside which I create this interface and this class. So first of all, I want to create the service package. I'm closing all these files. Okay, now here I'm creating a new package. New package. The package name is com.learnclearly.ems, employee management system .service. This service package, I want to create an interface, new interface, and this interface name is employee service. As I told you, this service layer is used to achieve abstraction. Interfaces are generally used to achieve abstraction. So this service interface exactly contains the same methods. If you look here, these are the same methods which are already there in the employee DAO. Now let's go ahead and copy and paste this DAO methods from employee DAO. So these are the methods. I'll copy and paste them. Okay, if you need any explanation on this one, what is the relation between service and DAO, and why should we make use of the service layer? Why cannot we directly make use of the DAO? You can leave your comments, I'll explain you. Okay, now this is the service layer, and we are done with the service interface. This part is completed. The next thing we need to do is create this class. In this class, we will create an object of this class and call the methods accordingly. Now let's go ahead and see that. So let me create a class for this one, employee service IMPL, that is inside the service package. Okay, see here, this is the service package. I'm creating a new class here. The class name is employee service IMPL. In this service IMPL class, this one implements iService interface, implements iEmployee service interface. Okay, and since this class implements this interface, we have to override all the methods. I'm adding add unimplemented methods. Now, in this add unimplemented methods, we have to provide the relevant code. In the dummy methods, we have to provide the relevant code. The first thing we do is we create an object of the DAO interface here, private iEmployee DAO. To this interface, I'm declaring EMP DAO interface, EMP DAO. The DAO, we generally pronounce it as DAO, employee DAO. New employee MySQL DAO IMPL. Now, if you look here, we have this employee MySQL DAO IMPL. Now, in this case, this employee DAO is an object of employee DAO MySQL IMPL. Now, what we do is in each method, we will call the respective methods. So here, the idea is this add employee, this one, what will we do is employee DAO dot add employee of E. That's all. Okay, this one is done. Similarly, this one, employee DAO dot delete employee of employee ID. And once again here, this is update method, employee DAO dot update employee of E. And here return what? Employee DAO dot find employee of E. And then here return employee DAO dot show all employees. This is simple program. You might be wondering, why do we need this service class? Please hold on until the last program. You'll clearly understand. Now that is completed with the service part. We are done with this part, and this one is complete. So this is the database part. We are done with the database part. This part I am using in this project to demonstrate Jdbc as well as loose coupling and abstraction. And this part I have used to demonstrate how do we create a user-defined exception and when do we throw that. And this portion is completed. And this is the database part. And we have one more part in this project, that is salary calculator. This salary calculator is the business logic, which uses the formula to calculate the permanent employee salary and contract employee salary. Now let's go ahead and create this class structure. So first of all, I create a new package. Okay, so in this new package, what I do is create the classes. New package. Now the package name is com.learnclearly.employee management system dot, let's say, business logic. Okay, so in this one, I'm going to create the salary calculator class, new class, and the class name is salary calculator. This salary calculator class, it has two methods. If you look at this list, we have to declare two methods in the salary calculator class, that is get gross salary. This gross salary method takes two parameters, employee object and actual salary. Okay, so what we do is we get here. So in this one, I create declare that method, public integer get gross salary. To get a gross salary, we need to find the employee, we need to have the employee object for which we want to get the gross salary. So employee E, comma, and the actual salary of the employee, integer actual salary, integer actual salary. Okay, we'll develop the code inside this one in the next few minutes. So we need to import this one. You see here, import employee. This is done. And of course, once we finish the coding here, we'll get rid of the errors. And the next method we want to make use of is in this class is calculate net salary method. So for that reason, I'm declaring the method public integer, let me take it as void, calculate net salary. And this net salary also takes two parameters, these two things, employee as well as the this one, actual salary. Okay, so this one takes the actual salary. So this is not actual salary, I'm sorry, this doesn't take, it just takes the employee, this one, right? So I think here we need to remove that. We don't have actual salary in calculate net salary method. We just need employee. Right. Now we are here in this one. We have to declare it as an abstract method. I'll tell you in the next few minutes why. So, and this is the structure of the salary calculator. And if you look at the class diagram, we have salary calculator as the parent class and these two classes as the child classes. One point to notice here is the formula to calculate the gross salary for both employees, permanent employee and contract employee, is same. If the formula for these two classes is same, then why should we duplicate the code in these two methods? For that reason, we declare that method in the parent class, that is the salary calculator method. And that is the reason I have declared it here. We will add the program here, the code here in the next few minutes. However, the formula to calculate the net salary of permanent employee is different from the formula to calculate the salary of the contract employee. Why is it different? Let's look at the code snippets. So here, if you look at the permanent employee has the monthly salary and these are the deductions. So we need to deduct all these components from the monthly salary of the permanent employee. So, and when you look at the structure of the contract employee has deductions, a fixed deduction that is called as TDS, tax deducted at source. Okay, so this is a single component that we have to deduct. Now this is the explanation. What is the reason behind the calculation net salary formula is different from the permanent employee as well as the contract employee. So let's go ahead and see that. So because the formula to calculate the net salary of permanent employee is different to permanent employee and contract employee, the formula is different, we need to override that method in the respective classes. For now, what we do here is inside this gross salary method, let us calculate the gross salary. How do we do that? Integer gross salary is equal to, initially let's take it as 0, and then we need to get the salary of this one. So how do you do that? So here we need to get the per day rate, int per day salary, int per day salary equal to, let's say E dot get days attended divided by, let's say 30. E dot get days attended divided by 30. So this will give us the attendance. This will give us the attendance. Okay, the attendance divided by the 30, we get the per day salary. This per day salary multiplied by days attended. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, this is done. So let me check. This is days attended. We have to get the actual salary by 30. Sorry for that. Actual salary by 30, we get the per day salary. And then gross salary equals to per day salary multiplied by days attended. E dot get days attended. So that's a small correction, right? So we are first of all getting the actual salary divided by 30, and then we are calculating the per day salary, and this per day salary we are computing with the days attended. Now we get the gross salary. Once we get the gross salary, we have to calculate the net salary. To calculate the net salary, we have to deduct the deductions for the respective employee type. That is the permanent employee, we have to deduct all these things. If it is the contract employee, we have to deduct this particular item. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, if you look at this calculate net salary, we have no code inside this method. Because we don't have any code in this method, we have to declare this as an abstract method. We'll do that in the next few minutes. And if you look at this one, we have to return it, I forgot. Return gross salary. Return gross salary. And if you look at this one, this is the common functionality required by both permanent employee and contract employee. Now let's go ahead and create the permanent employee and contract employee classes one after the other. So first of all, let me create this class, permanent employee salary calculator. Okay, so let me create a new class in this business package. New class, and in this one, I'm going to create a class, permanent employee salary calculator. Permanent employee calculator. Now this class extends the salary calculator class. This is an abstract class. Of course, we did do that. We'll do that. Now this class has one method we copy and paste from the parent class. So this one, I copy it here and I put it here. Now what I do is based on the employees, we get the gross salary. So you watch here, how do I do that? So step one, we need to get the gross salary. Integer gross salary is equal to get gross salary. To the get gross salary, we have to pass the, oh my God, we have to pass the actual salary as well here. Okay, let me do that. So let's say integer actual salary. I'll do the changes in the previous program. So here we have to come here and then you have to give guess salary here, comma, integer actual salary. We do that here. Now here we have the calculate net salary, which has two parameters, employee object and the actual salary. So to get the, what do you say? Get gross salary, did I not save it? This is actual salary, this is okay. Spelling mistake, sorry. Actual salary, spelling mistakes. So if you look here, we are in the class permanent employee salary calculator. Here we have the calculate net salary. In this one, we are first of all getting the gross salary from the parent class. If you look here, this method is from the parent class, salary calculator, that is inherited there. So we are calling the parent class method here. This is common functionality to both permanent employee and contract employee. So we are providing this object to the parent class and this salary to the parent class. So when this one is executed, we are taken to this method. We are taken to this method and we get the gross salary. And once we get the gross salary, we are storing it here. And after we get the gross salary, we have to deduct the deductions. We have to deduct the deductions. So what are the deductions to this permanent employee? PF, gratuity and income tax. Now let me go ahead and declare that. So I do something integer, let's say, I'll declare it locally, okay? Integer income tax. Income tax is equal to, for the sake of simplicity, I'm not going for any calculations. Okay, integer income tax and then integer PF is equal to, let's say some 800 and then integer gratuity equal to, let's say some 100. These are the three items I want to deduct from the gross salary. So how do I do that? Now what I do is integer net salary equals to, let's say, gross salary minus the deductions. What are the deductions? Income tax plus PF plus gratuity. Income tax plus PF plus gratuity. Now that we got the net salary, let's print the details of these details that we have calculated. How do I do that? Print permanent employee salary details. Permanent employee salary details. What are they? System.out.println. What is that one? This is, let me print the employee ID first. First of all, I want to give the employee ID. And then what is this one? E dot get employee ID. And then I want to print employee name. Employee name equals to, let's say here also equal sign. Employee name equals to, I say here, plus e dot get employee name. And then what do I have? I will print gross salary and net salary. Okay, I'm not printing each and every detail. If you want, we can print. That's not a big deal. Designation equals to, and then e dot get designation, and then sys out, and then gross salary equals to, let's say gross salary we have computed here, and finally this one, gross salary equals to, what is the next one? Net salary. Net salary equals to this one plus e dot, directly net salary here itself. And then if you want, we can display the deductions also. Deductions is equal to, we have to go for PF plus income tax plus gratuity. That's all. These are the deductions. And this is the salary structure that is displayed for the permanent employee. Now that we are done with the permanent employee, if you look at the formula, we have three deductions. The formula for calculating the permanent employee has 3 deductions, and this formula is different. Now, similarly, we have to do this one for the contract employee class. Now, let me go ahead and create the contract employee class here. This one, contract employee salary calculator. So how do I do that? So first of all, I go to this package and create the class. New class. This one is contract employee salary calculator. Once again, this class also extends the salary calculator. And because this class is extending the salary calculator, this will inherit the get gross salary method. Similarly, I want to copy this one here. Copy this one, and I put it into the contract employee class. You watch here. I'm placing it inside the contract employee class. Undo. Okay, now here I want to use the similar coding that I did inside the permanent employee. I just copy and paste and make the relevant changes because that is mostly same. Copy this entire code, and then here I print that. So get gross salary, I'm getting the actual salary, and we don't have income tax, gratuity and PF. Instead, we have something called as integer. Let's say what is that? TDS. Let's say that TDS tax deduction at source is, for example, some 2000. I fixed this one. Okay, and once this is done, we pass on this one. So this is a net salary is equal to gross salary. We don't have so many deductions. So here I give TDS. That's all. And this is straightforward. Just we need to change this one. Contract employee salary details, and deductions is equal to, we just have a TDS here. We don't have so many deductions. It is just TDS. And that's all about the calculating the net salary of the contract employee. There is some error it's showing. Where is that error? Where is that? Is that extra? Yes, one curly bracket extra is there. Now this is done. If you look at this one, the class diagram, we are done with this one, and this one. And if you look at the salary calculator Java file, let me open that. We have no code inside this method. Because we don't have any code that we want to write inside this method, we will declare it as abstract method. Okay, because we have no code inside this method, so we declare it as abstract method, semicolon. That is done. And since this class contains abstract method, we have to declare this class as abstract class. Public abstract class salary calculator. Now this is the use case and example of when to use an abstract class. We have to use an abstract class when there is a requirement that needs a common functionality to be shared across all the child classes. This is the common functionality that is shared and required by these two child classes, this one and this one. And the abstract class is used to contain specific functionality to be distributed and delegated to the respective child classes. In this case, calculate net salary, the functionality is specific to permanent employee calculator and the contract employee calculator. The formula is totally specific to this one, and this formula is totally specific to this one. I repeat once again, abstract class has to be used in a situation where we need some common functionality to be shared across the child classes. At the same time, some specific functionality to be delegated to the child classes. This is the specific functionality. This is the common functionality. That is the abstract class. Okay. Similarly, interfaces are used to achieve loose coupling. I'll explain abstraction. Abstraction is used to achieve loose coupling. I'll tell you in the next few minutes. Now that we are done with almost many classes, this stuff is completed. We have to go with the main program. This is the main program. I'm creating a new package for the main program. So let me go ahead and create that package. Okay, so I'll create a new package. New package. In this package, com.learnclearly.ems employee management system.main package. In this one, I'm creating a new class. The class I'm going to create is that employee main. We can call whatever convenient name here. However, we are taking this employee main. Now inside this main class, we will create the code that will execute all the methods. So first of all, let me create the employee data. And so what I want to do is, you watch here, employee service. Okay, e-service is equal to new employee service IMPL. New employee service IMPL. So if you look at this one, this is the main program. The main program is creating an object of the I service. Now let me demonstrate that. Okay, I open the paintbrush here. If you look here, this is going to be the main. This is the main program. Okay, main program. Inside this main program, this is making a call to service. This is going to make a call to service call. So this one is going to be service. So this is the service class. And the service class is going to make a call to the DAO class. This is the service, and this is going to make a call to the DAO class. Now let's say this is the DAO, and DAO is going to connect to the database. And this is the database for us. This is DB. And this is the flow of the front end to back end. Of course, front end is not created in this project. That requires the front end layers. Technologies such as servlets, JSP, or otherwise JavaScript technologies such as Angular, React.js. We can use any one, whatever we want. So from main, I'm making a call to the service method, the service object. If you look here, we have the service object. And the service object, I'm going to add the records e-service, let's say e-service dot add employee. And if you look at this add employee, it is taking an employee class object. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm creating one employee object, new employee. And to this one, I have the constructor for employee ID 1111 and employee name, let me say is A, and designation, let's say manager, and days attended, let's say 28. He has taken a couple of leaves. So I'm adding a few more times, employee service dot add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so here add employee, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 twos, and then 4 threes, and then 4 fours. Okay, then, and this is ABCD, and in here, let me give the designation. This is clerk, this is salesman, let's say this is accountant, whatever, and the age, this is the not age, sorry, number of days attended. He has attended all full days, let's say 29, and he has attended all full days, right? So that is done. We are adding the data here. Once the data is added, we get this one. And after that, so let's say we did not print it. Okay, let me give a print command there, one space. Now after that, we want to list all the employees. So I'm going to call that list of employee uh, list of employee e list is equal to, before I explain this part, you watch here, I'm calling e service dot add employee from the main program. If you look at this flow in the paintbrush from the main program, e service, I'm calling e service, the main calls service, service calls DAO, DAO calls DB. This is the flow. This is the layered architecture wherein we use the service layer. For example, currently, let's imagine the problem without this service layer, as well as we understand the importance of the interface and what is the meaning of abstraction. Let's say we don't have this one. Let me select this entire part. Okay, I'll create one more paintbrush. Open one more paint. So here, let's say we don't have the service layer. We don't have this one. So let me erase this part. This one is not there. And let us imagine main directly making use of the DAO layer, DAO layer. What I'm trying to say here, instead of using e-service here, I use the e-DAO. Instead of using e-service here, I use the e-DAO. If I make use of the DAO layer directly inside the main, consider this one contains the program, the code that is connecting to MySQL database. Okay, your program works well. For example, you have multiple main programs, program 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, multiple main programs are there. And all these main programs are connecting to this DAO layer. And this DAO layer is making use of MySQL as of today, for example. And we use DAO here, DAO here, DAO here. A few days later, if we want to switch from MySQL to Oracle DAO layer, in that case, what we have to do is we have to go to this program and change MySQL to Oracle, MySQL to Oracle, MySQL to Oracle in all these places. So this is the maintenance problem. Okay, this creates a tight coupling between the DAO layer and the calling layer. So the calling code and the DAO code should be loosely coupled. For that reason, what we do is we make use of the interfaces, service layer interface in between. So here, the service layer acts as the proxy between the main program and the DAO program. And if at all we want to switch from MySQL to Oracle, we do not have to change here. We can directly change it here. So that is called abstraction and loose coupling. We are abstracting the main program. The main program is abstracted by making use of service. So what I'm doing here is the service layer is called by the main. The service layer, the main does not know what exactly is e-service making use of. Is it making use of MySQL, or is it making use of Oracle, or it doesn't know? So that's over. For more clear understanding, for more in-depth understanding or explanation, please watch my Core Java playlist. So now that we have added the records, first of all, now let's retrieve all the records and print it. Okay, list employee. Okay, let me first of all get e-service dot show all employees. This show all employees will return as a list. So list of employee e list. Okay, now I need to import this list interface from java.util, and this is imported. And in here, I want to loop and print for employee e list. And then what I'm doing is printing the details. I'm not printing each and every one detail. E dot employee ID. Maybe I print. What's wrong in that? Okay, e dot get name, then space, and e dot get designation, then e dot get days attended. Okay, we are printing all the details. And then this is printing all the details. I'm printing one more break here. Okay, and then this is done. Now the next thing we need to do, we have completed add operation, we have completed get all operation. Now let us try to delete one record. Let's say e-service dot delete e-service dot delete employee. I give 4 ones. I want this one to be deleted. Employee record will be deleted successfully. E-service dot update employee. Now let's say I want to update the employee new employee. Okay, I want to update because this record will be deleted from this part. This no more exists. So I want to choose from the remaining three. So this photos record and this one as updated. Okay, the name I'm changing to updated, and then clerk I'm changing to, let's say, senior clerk. Clerk I'm changing to senior clerk, and the number of days he present is 29. I'm changing, and this way I'm updating the record. And if you want to find an employee after updating, let's find this employee record. So let's say employee temp equal to e-service dot find employee of, let's say, this one. Let's say I give the same this object I'll give it, I'll find it and print it. Okay, copy, and then I paste it here. That's all. Okay, so that is done. We are finding the employee, and this throws an exception. If you remember, employee not found exception, surround with try catch. Okay, so that is done. Now after we find it, we have to print it, isn't it? So let's say print temp dot get employee ID, and then space, and here temp dot get employee name. Two details are enough. We can print anything, and after that we found the employee, and that's all. We are done with the code. Now let's go ahead and check if anything is missed. This entire structure is done. Now let's go ahead and run the code. Okay, so let me run the code. Before that, let me check the database properties. Okay, that will show us exceptions, right? No need to worry on that. So first of all, I'm running this code. You see here, we have few exceptions. Let's go and fix them. Okay, so column days attended not found. So what is the column name? It is record unable to update operation failed. So where is that? Employee DAO, it is in this particular DAO 163. We go here. Days attended is not there, I guess. What is the spelling I mentioned here? Days attended, D is missing, you watch here, attended. So that's the correction. So let me go and do that correction. So let's say days attend. I think it is copied and pasted a couple of times. This is here, this is here, a small typing mistake. Okay, undo this one, undo this. Okay, I'll delete it here, not a problem. And then I go and change it here. It's one more place, I guess, one or two more places. That's all. So that is completed. The change is fixed for now. Now let me go and delete all the records once again. Okay, delete from EMP. It's not EMP, it is employee, because I want to delete all records. Employee or EMP? Delete from employee, spelling mistake. Delete from employee, commit, because we have added all the records. I need to, if I want to run the program once again, it results in primary key violation, that is exception. So for that reason, I have deleted all the things. Now let me go ahead and run this one more time. This is the main program here. Watch here. Now let's say run as Java application. Now let's see the output exceptions once again. If we have one more exceptions are available. Days attended. Did I not delete that properly? So this is still here. rs.get days attendee. What is the column name then? Days attendee. This is correct. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not days attended. One more mistake. It is day attended. So small typing mistakes will result like this. So it is not days attended. I make it as day attended. Okay, day attended, and one more place I have to do that. I guess it is day attended. Since the failure occurred one more time, I have to, delete the records to run the program again. So delete from employee, and then I delete that. Now I can issue the commit command. This is done. Now I have to run this program once again. So Let me run this program. See here, this is the main program. Hopefully this should work this time. Okay, small typing mistakes are resulting in one more exception is there. Let us fix that one as well. Days attended one more time is there. Where is that? Where is that? Where is that? DAO IMPL 99. How many places I have to change it? Okay. 90. Was that? This one is 99. Here it is. Days attended. So what is this command? Update. Set int of. This is set int unknown column. Achha, update command. Here also the command is mistaken, right? Oh my goodness. Days attended. Sorry. Day attendee. Perfect. Sorry about that. So many typing. One typing mistake created so many problems. So I will stop this program and delete the records once again. So let's say delete from employee. I delete all the records, and then let me issue the commit command. Okay, now let me run this one more time. Hopefully this time it should work. If still doesn't work, once again we'll have to fix the problem. Okay, you see that it worked well. So all the records are displayed here. We have deleted one record. Okay, we have updated one record. Okay, so record deleted successfully, record updated successfully. And after updating the record, you see we have printed the updated name as updated. If you go and see the database, you see select star from employee. And if you see, initially this one used to be B. Okay, when we added it, it was B. After adding 4 records, we deleted the first record, that is 4 record does not exist here. And then we delete that record, and then we performed an update operation on this one. While updating, we changed this one from B to the word updated, and we changed the clerk from clerk to senior clerk. And you see this one is changed here. And this one was 30 days, and we changed it to 29 days. Now this is the database operation. We are done with the database operation. Now let's go ahead and create the salary calculation part here. I'm creating one more class, new class here, and the class is employee salary main. I'm saying it as employee salary main. Somehow this class is missing in the diagram. I forgot to mention that. That's okay, it's not a big problem. So inside this one, what I want to do is I create the main method. Now in the main method, I want to create an object of the permanent employee salary calculator. Permanent employee salary calculator, PE equal to permanent employee PE equal to new permanent employee salary calculator. And to this one, I want to call the method PE.calculate net salary. This one needs 2 objects, 2 parameters. The first one is an employee object and the actual salary. The employee object, let's give blindly something, new employee, and this employee's ID is 1 or 1, 2, 3, 4, and his name is, for example, his or her name is A. Here this one, comma, what happened? So sorry. Here the cursor has to be here, comma, and this is A, and designation, let's say clerk, and then comma, the number of days he or she attended is 28, and this one actual salary, let's say it as 30,000, for example. This is done. Okay, and we have to import this one. Let's say import, this is completed. Now when we run this program, we get that one, and then similarly we do that contract employee salary calculator, CE equal to new contract employee salary calculator. And this one also we do the same thing. Okay, copy and then paste. Let's say this is contract employee salary calculator, and his number is 4321, and his name is B, and he's a manager. Okay, and he has attended some 20 days of work. Okay, something like that. And let's say this is the actual salary, let's say some 50,000. Okay, considering this is this currency in INR. Okay, now let's go ahead and run this program. Something is wrong here. We don't need this one. Now let me right click and then run this program. run as Java application. Now you see we got all the details. So this is contract employee salary details. We got the employee details. We got the gross salary. We got the net salary. We have the deductions here. Okay, contract employee, because he worked only for 20 days, right? So that's the case. And this is the gross salary. This is the net salary and the deductions. If you want a line break in between, we can print it here before the call of this one. I say here system.out.println. Okay, I print a line break. Now you watch here, run as Java application one more time. So we get the details. So that's all about the full-length employee management system project. I think this is a pretty long video. Thank you so much for watching a long video. If you like it, please subscribe and share it. Let's meet in the next video. Thanks you once again. Bye.